Hello, everyone. If anyone feels like Trump's whole conversation about Ukraine closely resembles yanking one's chain, that's because it is. You are not wrong to feel that way. Uh, it's not just you, you know? So, on one hand, he says that he and Putin could do something significant to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He said that on Friday. He said that they've had very serious discussions with Russia and he is working on it, but he is not giving any specifics, as per usual. So, my personal feeling on this is that he is trying to backpedal from those promises of ending the war in Ukraine in 24 hours that he screamed from the rooftops all throughout his campaign, and is pretending like something is being done, but generally I'm getting the vibe that he still has no fucking clue. Because, once again on Friday, when asked directly whether he had spoken to Putin, he refuses to say that he indeed had established contact directly. He says he's speaking to Russia. He says he's working with Putin, but he will not say specifically what was done, when, how, and what was discussed. So, again, my feeling is that no, there isn't anything happening. It's just words. And because of the nature of this interaction, they can just say, no, this is classified, and just refuse to tell the public what the fuck is going on. So the point of all of this is more for the benefit of our European allies rather than Americans. Folks, Trump's not going to save you. US is not going to save you. You have to resolve it yourself. You are geographically closer to the site, okay? It's right there. You have shit flying over from Ukraine into EU territory, including the territory of NATO members. Just assume US is just not even a factor anymore. And I've been saying that ever since Trump announced his second candidacy, that the rest of the world simply cannot afford to live from one US election to another. You have seen how the pendulum can swing, okay? You cannot rely on that. You can keep it in mind. You can take measures. But I suggest the rest of the world stops relying on the United States, because it is no longer a secure ally. It grieves me to say so, but here it is. World, fix this yourself. I'm sorry you have to. I know you are used to relying on the United States ever since World War II, and there's actually a pretty decent speech by Ronald Reagan where he talks about that. You know, the establishment of international alliances, economic and political, following World War II, and to what end. But that is no longer the case. This is a ticker item, but I suggest we all watch it because this could be important. So why is this important? First of all, many political analysts, historians, etc., agree that Russia's 2005 attack on Georgia and hacking off of Chechnya was basically a dress rehearsal for the later annexation of Crimea. So Georgia was a rehearsal. Okay? Now, there is a plan to develop a permanent naval base at a tiny port on the Black Sea, which is next to Georgian coast. And that could be a problem. So, again, people of Georgia, I encourage you to pay a freaking attention because you know how they are. And we go back to the fact that anyone who ever tried to form an alliance with Russia over the recorded history eventually came to regret it, including Ukraine, including Georgia. So, food for thought. And then there is this. I've said it many times, anybody who doubts the reality of this war, the fact that civilians are being targeted, the constant bombing, the constant assault should just go and find out for themselves. Well, this time it was Norwegian diplomats' turn to find out. And I'm sorry they had to go through this, but I'm sure it was an eye-opening experience. So what happened? There was another attack on Ukraine's Black Sea port of Odessa. And the reason we have been getting foreign visitors there is because Odessa is a very historic city. And some of the buildings in Odessa are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. One of the conversations Ukraine has been having with its European allies is, hopefully when the war is finally over, how we're going to restore and protect those sites, because a lot of them have been significantly damaged. So sites in Odessa are included in that list, and these diplomats from Norway were visiting one when an attack broke out. They were wounded. I'm sure it was terrifying to be right smack dab in the middle of it. I'm sure it was incredibly loud and, frankly, a fuck me moment. So, again, this is real. Norway, these were your diplomats. They were attacked by Russia while visiting another country. Think of it in terms of what would you do if they were visiting any other country. Literally, if they were anywhere in the world and they were attacked by Russian military. What is the protocol? And I encourage the same thing for all of the diplomatic corps, for all of the allies around the world. When you send your diplomats, your politicians, your heads of state, your ministers to Ukraine, and they are subjected to danger by Russian military, what is your response? What are you waiting for?